How to invest in real estate with $1,000 for beginners. Have you heard the secret? Did you know that you can start investing in real estate with only $1,000 and make money? Oh yeah, it's true. I'm gonna tell you how you can do it so you can start today. Let's go.
Noel. Yeah, she can fix that. If you gotta get it done, no, you need to do it better. Well, she can fix that. Yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that. Let's fix that.
I'm going to share with you the step-by-step detailed process on how to invest in real estate starting from zero with only $1,000. I'm going to share with you the biggest opportunity in the real estate market that exists right now that you can take advantage of. And last but not least, I am going to bust up the biggest lie that people tell newbie investors so that you can actually make money and not fall for the tricks. So let's talk about all of the benefits that there are to real estate investing. As a real estate investor, I enjoy so many benefits. I have real estate that's making me money each month. I have the properties that are going up in value due to a concept called appreciation. You know, over time, properties go up in value. I am increasing my net worth because I have these real estates, and as I am paying down the mortgages, my equity is growing in those properties and it boosts up my net worth. Additionally, I can even borrow against the equity in my properties so that I can start getting more cash out. I can live off that cash if I needed to, or do what I do is use that equity to invest in more real estate. The bottom line, real estate is the #1 way to create wealth in America, and I've told you all the benefits, so you are on the right track if you start thinking like a real estate investor. So let me tell you how you do that and get that money, girl. So step #1, there's really 3 primary things that you are going to do when you are investing as a real estate investor. And it is what I call my MCS, market, convert, solve. It's a very simple concept. It's 3 skills that you need as a real estate investor. Step #1 is market. You are going to put out ads. You are going to put marketing material out there to find people that have a property that you can make money off of. So in other words, you are going to market to find people with property problems. So what does that mean? I'll explain in a second. Let's just talk about step 2 first. Step 2 is convert, the C. You are going to talk to sellers and convert them into a contract. You're going to get them under a contract. You're going to get them to do what it is that you're needing them to do and sign a contract with you to work with you. And then last but not least, you are going to S. You are going to solve. You are going to take that property and make it into a rental, or you're going to wholesale that property, or you're going to Airbnb it, or you're going to, auction the property off. There's different things that you can do. So market, convert, solve. Those are the 3 things that you're going to do. Let me tell you how each step works and where that $1,000 fits in, because you can make money just doing those 3 things every day. So let's break this down quickly. M stands for marketing. And when I say marketing, like I said, you're going to be marketing. You're going to send out ads. You're going to put them on social media. You're going to put out bandit signs. You're going to mail letters. You are going to market. Marketing, marketing, marketing. This is the key that most people do not understand about real estate investing. This is where you're going to actually spend most of your money too. Most people think that you're going to need thousands of dollars so that you can buy real estate. No, no, no. You don't have to buy real estate to make money off of it. All you need to do is find people that have a real estate or have a property that they are having a problem with and that they are willing to sell at a discounted price. I know that sounds pretty easy because it is. I literally learned how to do these things from my parents' basement. I was bankrupt, had bad credit. We had multiple foreclosures and ended up in my parents' basement. When I learned all of this by getting a coach, he taught me wholesaling. And the biggest step was the one I just told you, marketing. You will spend the bulk of your money marketing. I'm going to tell you and break that down a little bit later. Let me just break down really quickly the C and the S. C is for convert. Like I said, you're going to convert people into contracts. You're going to get them to sign. But more importantly, you are going to connect. The way that you get people to sell you their home for a discounted price is, 1, they must be having some type of financial distress or some type of property problem. Maybe the roof is falling in, maybe the toilets are running and they don't have the money and the expertise to fix them. They must be having some type of property. So when you market to them, the words in your marketing will resonate with them. them. They're going to call you up on the phone, and then you will convert them. You will connect with their story, find out what's happening, what was the situation, what's going on with the property. C, you connect with them. Once you figure out what's going on with them, you can easily get them under contract and start making money for yourself. Last step, S, solve. Like I said, now that you have them under contract, now it's time for you to get to work. You have this awesome property, you got it for pennies on the dollar. Now you need to do something with the property. What are you going to do? You gotta solve. Are you gonna wholesale that property? In other words, are you gonna take that contract and flip it to another investor for a fee? That's wholesaling. Or are you going to get a hard money loan and buy the property and fix it up? We do that with fix and flips. Now again, if you need more detail on wholesaling or fixing and flipping, I have made an entire video breaking all of that down. Make sure I'll put a link and you can watch that whole video. In fact, I have an entire playlist that teaches you this. So if you need to know exactly how to wholesale or exactly how to fix and flip, I have videos on that. And if you need to know how to get 100% financing for your fix and flip, I also have a video on that. But the bottom line is, you can even make that property into a rental property. So you got them under contract, you want to buy it, now you want to make it in a rental property. You can take that contract and close on it and make it into a rental property, or you can partner with an investor, you guys buy the property together and make it a rental property. Again, the list goes on, and one more time, I have a whole blueprint that breaks all of this down for you in writing. Noelle's free blueprint is below. Just make sure you click that link and it will outline all of the different solutions that are available to you for those contracts that you get. And it is really just that simple. So now let's just talk quickly about what you're doing with the $1,000. Like I said, you may not even need to spend $1,000. You literally can take that money and start using it for your marketing materials. You want to keep a little bit aside so that you can keep this going, because sometimes you have to send letters to people more than once. So let me give you a quick example on how I started making money with less than $1,000 with foreclosures. During 2009, 2010, there were a ton of foreclosures and people were trying to get modifications because they were losing their home and things like that. So one of the cheap and easy ways that I found these people was by putting out signs that said, "Are you behind on your mortgage payments? Call this number." It rang to me and my company. I would take those leads, get them under contract, and then flip those contracts to investors for a fee. Just that simple. Again, you don't have to spend a ton of money making your signs. You don't even have to make signs. You could do letters. You can mail letters to these people, or you can even put ads out on social media like Facebook, Instagram, and things like that saying, "Hey, are you behind on your payments?" Things of that nature. Again, I made an entire video. If you want to know just how to market to people, I actually have a video very specific on that inside of my real estate investing playlist. So watch that playlist if you need a little bit more. But it really is just that simple. You're spending the $1,000 to market. That is where you should spend most of your money, because if you help people with property problems, there are a ton of investors out here, me being one of them, that are looking for properties that we can get at a discount. And if you can find people with a property problem that are willing to move out of that property and sell it for a discount, I promise you, you'll find lots of people like me willing to buy them from you for a fee. So as a bonus, you also, if you only have $1,000 and you're wanting to own hundreds of properties, I've created a company called NuRez, N-U-U-R-E-Z, NuRez.com. You can look at and check us out at that website. We are a next generation real estate company that focuses on buying, leasing, and controlling properties that we can put on Airbnb or do a mix with some long-term tenants and some Airbnb tenants. We have found that this is super profitable, and we're always looking for more properties and more investors. If you want to invest just $500, you can go to TrueCrowd, that's TrueCrowd.com, and invest in NuRez, or you can go to NuRez.com, check us out, and we will even pay you if you have properties that you could submit to us. Again, it's right on our website at Submit a Property. I just want to make sure that you have all of the resources, all of the tools, and all of the resources that you need to be successful. Check out NuRez, N-U-U-R-E-Z.com today. To your success.